Alright, what's going on, big dogs? Back at it again. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play A site on Nuke. First off, I'm going to start off with the most pesky issue that there is right now, and that is going up the ladder to A site. Now, the simplest way to do this, and the quickest way to do this, is to look to the right, jump up, and hold W and A at the same time. You'll go up the ladder a lot faster than if you just hold one movement key. Once you get to the top, you're going to want to strafe to the right so that you're out of the way. So with this, you're going to want to hold W and D and get to the right. This will stop you from blocking teammates as you come up the ladder, which can lead to losing A site early on. Now, first spawn, your goal is to throw a molly like this for door. Now, easy way to remember this is you look for this gray sign on the yellow bridge. You go to the top of the railing and you just run through. It's very loose. Second guy, what he can do is he can molly hut, and there's two ways you can do this. One, you can come here and aim at the top of the gray part of hut and just throw, and that will go inside of hut. Second way is if you're expecting a rush, you can throw it on the outside of hut. Now that we got those nades out of the way, let's talk about the two positions on A site. So first off, you've got a guy that plays on this side of the yellow bridge and a guy that plays on this side of the yellow bridge. This guy is the first A player, or the A anchor. His goal is mainly hut. His goal is to stop the A rushes coming out of hut and to keep this position back here. So with this, when you come out of heaven, there's multiple positions you can play, right? You can come up here early round and hold inside hut, looking for early kills. You can play on this side of rafters, and you can even play Mustang. Or you could be the good old anchor and just play backside. Now, when you're in these positions, your job is to relay information to your team, because when you are on this side of the map, you can also hear what T's are doing in lobby. So when T's make noise ramp, make sure you call it to your ramp player. When T's make noise door, make sure you call it to your second A player. And if you hear T's hut, be ready to frag out. Now, when playing these different positions, there's different things you can do. For example, you can play backside jiggling with the smoke in your hand. If you see them making contact hut, you can smoke in front of hut, and you can play in front of it. Now, playing in front of smokes is very overpowered as it gives you an advantage. What you can also do on backside hut is you can re-smoke door for your second A player. Alright, one way to throw this is if you come to this side of the silo, and you aim underneath the hook. You left click throw. This will smoke off the door and deny any vision from the T's. Now, as the second A player, your job is to look at hut, the vent drop, and even be a rotator for your outside players. Now, after you molly inside door, you can jump off like this. You can choose to underhand a nade, and you go to top hut. First off, you got to make sure that nobody is rushing door. You got to relay any information that if T's are blowing up door and throwing nades early, you got to let your teammates know. What you can do is you can smoke off door early like this, and you can listen. If your team says they're fighting outside heavy, one thing you can do is come down and you can drop, and you can come fight with them. If you hear them on T roof setting up nades, be ready for the exec. If you hear them throwing nades, you can drop like this and play close against the smoke, and you have an advantage. Now here's another scenario. Say they molly you top hut, and you have a smoke. You can smoke either towards door, which will block off vision on door from T's, or you can smoke off towards hut, which will also block vision from the T's within hut. Now another position you can play is something called nitro. This is anywhere along this wall where you're playing angles to stop T's from coming out door. Once you get to this position, you can also just smoke door easily like this. You can spam back into lobby trying to kill the door defaulter, or you can just come to Asian vent and be in a crossfire with your A player. Again, as the second A player, your goal is essentially as another rotator on the map. Say your ramp player is getting pushed back, spotting, he sees somebody's like, oh, they're coming ramp, they're coming ramp. What you can do is you can be a rotator down vent, especially if your ramp player says that they're pushing down lower to B side. Now, one thing you need to remember about your first and your second A player is that you guys need to be relaying information about which angles are open and which ones you're holding. If your second A player decides to come fight outside, you need to let your A player know that, oh, door is open, I'm fighting outside. Or if he's going vent, tell your A player, hey, I'm rotating down lower. I'm rotating to B right now. So that your A player can be aware of this position and this position. Now let's talk about lobby crunching. When is it right to lobby crunch? Well, if T's are pressuring outside heavy, or they're pressuring ramp heavy, and your teammates are calling that there's the majority of the T's are outside or ramp, it is okay to push lobby. So when pushing lobby, you can come into hut like this, hold this off angle right here, and play off a sound. Now when you think it's the right time to push, you could start clearing out angles, taking this position, taking these angles. And one thing you need to be aware of is that good teams will always have a lurker in door or lobby entrance or on the roof. So be aware of those angles. Now, as both the A players, you guys can coordinate a lobby crunch together. So what you can do is as this door smoke is fading, your door player can molly like this. Your hut player can come in like this, clearing angles. And as he's doing this, he knows that his door is clear. So the angles he has to worry about are here and here. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys learned a lot from this video, and let me know what you want to see more of. Later.